Hi guys, Miss Oz here. I'm just going to go over real fast the material from lesson 6.3. Some of you expressed that you were still struggling a little bit with it, so I thought I would do a voiceover review for you guys. So just real quick, getting into naming and classifying polynomials. So remember, a polynomial is a monomial or a sum of monomials, meaning you can have multiple monomials that make up a polynomial. So if you guys look at this first one right here, so this 6x to the fourth plus 5x squared minus 7x plus 1, that is a polynomial. Each one of these is a monomial. So 6x to the fourth is a monomial. 5x squared, that's another monomial. Negative 7x, that's a monomial, and then plus 1, that's a monomial in itself. So this polynomial is made up of 4 monomials. So if you guys look at this table right here, it kind of tells you how to name a polynomial. So if you have one term, it's called a monomial. 2 terms, binomial. 3 terms, trinomial. And anything after 3 is just simply known as a polynomial. So if it has 5 terms, it's just a polynomial. So what we're going to look at first, if I can do it, is to classify each polynomial by its number of terms. So all you have to do is count the number of terms that you see, and then that's going to tell you what to name it. So if I look, I have 1, 2, 3 terms. So based on the table from up top, a 3 terms is considered a trinomial. So in this case, I would just write trinomial. And that's just how I would classify this based on the number of terms. So if I look at the second one here, 9x cubed, there's only one term here because there's no addition or subtraction signs between any terms here. So this would just be considered a monomial. That's one other thing for you guys to know, is that each one is separated by addition or subtraction, tells you how many terms that there's going to be. So in this case, you have 2x to the fifth plus 4. Well, that addition sign right here separates the 2 terms, which tells me I have 2 terms here, which means I have a binomial. Okay, so now if I look at this fourth one over here, you have 5 minus 2x plus 4x squared minus x cubed. So there's subtraction sign here, an addition sign, and a subtracting sign. Meaning I have 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms. So anything with 4 terms is considered a polynomial. Okay? So if you want to pause the video and try the next few, I will write the answers for you guys for 5 and 6, along with, then I'll go through some examples at the bottom here. So if you want to pause the video right now so you can try 5 and 6, pause the video. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at these bottom 4. So in this case, it says classify each polynomial by its number of terms, combine like terms first where necessary. So remember guys, just like terms are any terms that have the same variable and the same exponents. Just because they have the same variable but different exponents doesn't mean that they're like terms. So in this case, remember we used to circle them, and that's what I'm going to do now. So if I look, I have 5x squared, and then I have a 4x squared. So I'm just going to circle them. Remember, take the signs with the numbers, and then you know to combine them. And then if I notice, I also have 2x terms, so I have a positive 3x, and I have a negative x. So 5x squared plus 4x squared gives me 9x squared. 3x minus x ends up giving me a positive 2x. And then I have minus 1. So in this case, you have 3 terms. So that would be considered a trinomial. Okay, and you would do the same thing for the other 3. So again, pause the video and try it if you would like. And there you go. The 3 other answers. If you have any questions, please reach out to me on those. But what we're going to look at now is naming and classifying the polynomials by the degree. So the degree is the highest, comes from the highest exponent, okay? So it comes from the highest monomial term. So if you guys look at this example right here of 6x to the fourth plus 5x squared minus 7x plus 1. If you notice, the first term here is 6x to the fourth. Then you have a degree of 2, a degree of 1, and then a degree of 0. Since 6x to the fourth is the highest degree, you're going to name it based on that term. And in this case, looking at the table right here, a fourth degree polynomial is quartic. So it has a name of quartic. Now, it might be funny to say, but going through the list so then you guys can hear them is if it has no exponent, it's just a constant. 2x plus 6 is linear, so that's when it has the exponent of 1. 3x squared minus 7x plus 1 is, you have the degree of 2, so that's a quadratic. 3 you guys are used to hearing because it's cubic. Fourth degree is quartic. Fifth degree is quintic. And then the sixth degree is just known as sixth degree. And anything after 5, we just say the number of degrees. So like if I were to give you like 3x to the 8th minus 10, that would be considered an 8th degree. So I'm struggling with this. But going through these, write each polynomial in standard form and classify by its degree. So just real quick refresher, standard form, it's when you go from the highest exponent to the lowest exponent, or smallest, whatever you want to write. Okay? So looking at this one, you have you have 1 minus 7x cubed plus 5x squared. So just writing over top, my 7x cubed would come first because it's the highest degree. 5x squared needs to come second, followed by the 1. And you take the sign with the number. So you have negative 7x cubed plus 5x squared plus 1. So that's writing it in standard form. Now I have to classify by degree. So I look at my first term. That has a 3 for its degree. So that means that this is considered cubic. Okay? So now if we look at number 2, writing this one in standard form first, because I noticed that I have an exponent of 3 and a 4, but the 4 isn't written first. So that one would have to come first, followed by the cubic, followed by the negative 2x, followed by the 12. So this becomes negative 5x to the fourth plus 9x cubed minus 2x plus 12. Okay, so now naming it, I have a fourth degree, so that would be considered quartic. Okay, so what I'm going to ask is that you pause the video and you try the next few on your own. All right, there you have it. How'd you guys do? Pretty good? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take both of these things and put them into one, because when we classify a name, we don't just do one or the other. We do them both together. So you're going to name it based on the degree and then the number of terms. So what you want to do is first make sure that all of your polynomials are written in standard form, then classify by degree, and then the number of terms. So if we notice, this first one has been done for us. So they rewrote it in standard form. They identified that it was raised to the second power, which makes it quadratic. And then there were 1, 2, 3 terms, so that makes it a trinomial. So if we look at number 2, if I notice I have 9x cubed minus 8x minus 2x cubed plus 3. Well, I see I have these terms right here that are considered like terms. So I'm going to combine them, which is going to give me 7x cubed. And then I'm just going to bring down the rest. So first thing to do is to name it based on the degree. So I'm raised to the third degree, which tells me it's cubic. And then I have 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 terms, which tells me it's a trinomial. So this polynomial of 9x cubed minus 8x minus 2x cubed plus 3, when written in standard form, is 7x cubed minus 8x plus 3. And then if I were to name and classify it, it would be considered a cubic trinomial. Okay, so it's really important to always make sure you rewrite it with combined terms and in standard form. So looking at number 3, I'm going to combine any terms if I can, which looking at this I can't. So I'm just going to write it in standard form then. So I have negative 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 5x plus 7. So naming it based on degree, again it's raised to the third power, so that's cubic. And then counting the number of terms, well, in this case, I have 4 terms, so anything above 3 is just considered a polynomial. So this is a cubic polynomial. All right. Looking at number 4, it's already written in standard form. The y is raised to the first degree, which tells me it's linear. And then there's only 2 terms, so it's a binomial. All right, so again, I'm going to ask that you guys pause the video so you guys can try the next few on your own. If you have questions, please reach out to me. Okay, checking your work. How did we do? Pretty good? Oh man, Miss Hawes, get it together. There you go. All right, so on the next slide is more if you guys would like to try some more, but I'm going to stop this video right now, and then you guys are to move on to lesson 6-4. So you are going to close out this video and then open up a new video. The note sheet is posted for you guys. All right, talk to you soon.